Do you have a stack of unfinished books somewhere in your office or next to your bed? How about unfinished projects around the house? Or a really great business idea that's sitting half done in an unmarked folder on your laptop? Look, no shame. We all do. But why? Is it laziness, ADHD? Are you scatterbrained? Is it distractions? Is it a lack of discipline, motivation, or resources? Nope. It's fear. You're just one big, giant scaredy cat. Okay, well, you aren't, but your brain is. I know what you're thinking. Nuh-uh. I just really haven't had the time. Okay, that half-painted wall in the bathroom might be because you ran out of paint when the phone rang and the dog stepped in the paint tray, spilling it, and then you spent the rest of your only day off scrubbing paw prints off the wood floors. But technically, even that project still isn't finished because you're scared. You're not worried about the dog finger painting again. You're scared of taking time away from other priorities, like binging on Netflix and Doritos. But what about the vacuum you took apart weeks ago, or the unfinished stack of books, or overdue reports you promised your boss, or that awesome business idea that you had 2 years ago? Or how about that final chapter of that book you started writing 4 years ago? Asking for a friend? Well, all of these can be broken down into 4 categories of unfinished business, and they are all driven by fear. So let's take a look. The 4 types of unfinished projects and the reasons we don't finish them. Number 1, the not enough time or resources unfinished projects. Now, these are the projects that are on hold either actively because you're waiting for parts to arrive, or you're waiting until your next paycheck or day off so you can go buy paint. Or they could be inactive and on hold with no definite plan for completion. Now, these projects take up a tiny bit of mental real estate in the back of your head until you are only reminded of them when you walk by a pile of snowboarding gear in your garage, or you stub your toe on the boxes at the bottom of the stairs. These are the projects you want done, but you don't actually want to do them. This is short-term fear. You fear the process of doing them, either because you don't know how much it's going to cost or how to do it, or that it's cold as fuck in the garage, or you're afraid of missing out on something better, like being snuggled under a blanket with your cat and a full season of Wednesday Addams at your fingertips. So, how do you get these projects done? Well, if you look at the motivation wheel, they fall under potential. These projects are best completed with a fresh set of eyes and scheduled into the first part of your day when you still have some willpower to work with. Now, they often require a little bit of planning or prep work, like ordering supplies or recruiting a second set of hands. Now, erasing the fear of the unknown just by pricing it out or watching a tutorial on YouTube is usually enough to put your brain at ease that the pain will be worth the outcome. A procrastinator's tip: estimate the amount of time it will take and then double it. And then race yourself. Schedule it. Call in some moral support. Because we are more interested in the result and not the method. So having a friend to help you or just be a cheerleader can help you overcome that FOMO. Unfinished project type number 2. The I don't really want them done. These are the projects that you like the doing part, and oftentimes there's little or no tangible benefit in them actually being done. These are usually hobby projects or busy work, like redesigning your brand colors for the 6th time this month. You may start these with big ideas and make a whole inspo board on Pinterest. You buy all the supplies and spend a full Saturday listening to Tay Sway's new album on repeat, burning your fingers 100 times while hot gluing faux flowers to picture frames. And even though you have no idea what you're going to do with them, when they're done, you love the process. You know you don't need to finish these projects because at least they are not critical to your survival. But the real problem is the mental and actual clutter they create, taking up real estate for more important tasks. But if these projects are so fun, what are you actually afraid of? Well, these projects go unfinished because we are afraid that when they are done, so is the fun. And what we're actually afraid of is all the other adulting we will have to do instead. So on the motivation wheel, these projects fall under play. We aren't in it for the results, but we definitely love the process. And we often retreat to these projects because we are avoiding something else bigger and scarier. And we will drag these out as long as we possibly can. And this is known as procrastinating. So how can you actually get these projects done? Well, the good news is most of the time you don't have to. If they are hobbies like crafting, it's okay to leave them unfinished because they serve their purpose in giving you a creative outlet. Instead of putting your focus on finishing the project, decide the amount of time you allow yourself to work on them and consider the time block finished, not the project. And you can always schedule more time in later or make it your Sunday ritual while doing laundry. Now, if these are things like busy work you are retreating to, like cleaning out your inbox or changing your profile images on social media, the same applies. Set a time limit on how long you will play. The difference here is that busy work still needs to get done. So instead of abandoning these fun projects when your time is up, you will be applying something called Parkinson's Law, which states that tasks will take up the time allotted. In other words, if you give yourself a week to pack for a trip, it will take you all week. But if you only have 30 minutes before you have to leave for the airport, you might forget your toothbrush, but you will definitely find a way to get that suitcase zipped and be at the curb as your Uber is pulling up. Set a time limit to complete that task and race that clock. Here's another procrastinator's tip. Use these types of projects as a reward for facing the big, scary adulting tasks or projects you've been avoiding. Unfinished project type number 3. These are the you can't make me unfinished projects. These are no gain, all pain. These are the projects you don't want to do. You can't see the benefit in doing them, but for some reason you feel like you have to do them. These are the pointless reports your boss requested, or the honey-do list your mother-in-law left you. Or these can be the projects that someone told you you should be doing, but you don't really see the value in. Now, it seems pretty obvious what we are afraid of here. Wasting our time, which is completely legitimate. Now, this can be a tricky spot to be in. Doing the project is painful, and there is virtually no payoff for you. However, not doing the project usually means you're still experiencing some sort of pain, and the results might even be more unfavorable. For example, those stupid reports, staying late, drudging through Excel sheets to do them might mean canceling dinner with your friends and building resentment for your boss, making you hate your job a little bit more. But not doing them means your boss resents you and you hate your job a little bit more. It seems like a no-win situation. Now, on the motivation wheel, these fall under pain, where you don't enjoy the method or the results. So no wonder why you wouldn't actually want to finish these projects, because you can't see a benefit in either the short term or the long term. So how do you get these projects done? Honestly, you probably don't. In fact, these are the projects that you really need to evaluate and ask yourself if they're actually a priority for you. Your mother-in-law's guilt trip may not be your problem, unless your spouse makes it your problem, in which case you may have found a potential-based outcome to motivate you. Your boss's frivolous request might be something that you delegate or trade with a colleague who, for some strange reason, loves Excel. Or if it's sending out those dreaded prospecting emails to get new clients, even though you feel like it never pans out, this might be something that you outsource to a virtual assistant. And finally, the 4th unfinished project type, the I'll never let go, Jack. These are the projects you are so passionate about. In the beginning, you feel like the only way you will ever let them go is if someone peels them from your cold, dead hands. And that is inherently the problem. These fall under purpose on the motivation wheel. You love the method and you love the results that it will bring you. These projects are rarely, if ever, actually abandoned. You might keep adding to them, they keep growing, but these are the things you are always working on and working in, even if years pass between picking them up again. Now, these projects often go unfinished because of the what ifs. What if it's not good enough? What if they laugh at me? What if I'm wrong? What if I don't like it? What if I fail? Or that sneaky one, what if I actually succeed? Fear of failure, which is often disguised as a fear of success, is the most universal and most damaging fear. So it seems obvious that overcoming these fears is the key to getting these projects done. But that is often easier said than done. Things like mindset hacking and affirmations may help you overcome these conscious fears. But what about the unconscious fears? Your brain is wired to keep you safe, and every single one of these fears is an imminent threat to your survival brain. And when your brain fears something, it will do everything in its power to prevent you from moving towards that thing, even if you really want it. Now, this often feels like fate or the universe getting in the way. It's when you get stuck in traffic and didn't make it home in time for that really important Zoom call with that prospective client. Or it's when you drop your laptop in the bathtub but don't back up your work. It's when circumstances and things that feel like they are beyond your control are happening that prevent you from launching your new business or sending that scary email or taking that next big step toward completing that big project. Yet we feel continuous motivation to keep working on them. Now, getting these projects done takes more than a quick productivity hack or a motivational quote. In order to do this, you have to learn how to stop being afraid of the fear, which is exactly what I talk about in the next video. So don't forget to check that out.